What is spirituality?
The word spirituality indicates spirit and utility. Spirit indicates the energy of yourself that is connected with the universe. Scientifically, you can also believe, or scientifically you can also prove that energy is universal and there is energy in everything. Whatever action you do, whatever thoughts come to your head, whatever you are going to do, everything is energy motivated. So you have a spirit which is what we call a small energy or a bit of energy, Jivatma, what we call, and the Jivatma is looking up to the Paramatma, which is a bigger universal energy. I would put it in simple words in English. It's an universal energy that is connected with your individual energy. So when you have to understand, you have to be aware of that energy. We call it utility of that energy. That is what we call spirituality. And this is common to all human beings. Although all species are also governed by the universal energy, the other species don't have that awareness of individual energy, which means, for example, you have the animals, you have the birds, all are species created by the divine energy, by the universal energy. But they are not evolved enough to understand their own individual energy, which is the Jivatma, or they are not able to be aware of it. They are not aware of their existence. But whereas man, who is an evolved species from the lower energy to the higher energy, is able to understand and know about his existence. So when you know about your existence, there is a certain methodology by which you have to recharge this energy which connects you to the universal energy. That recharge is what we call spirituality. There is nothing like a sectarian spirituality or anything that divides the human religion or anything that divides the human spirit or the human energy, because the energy cannot be divided, because the energy is only one. So the entire world, the entire universe, the cosmic world as we call it, is just one, and that's what we call it spirituality. And then you come down to a little bit of your mundane level where you talk about Panchamrit, 5 elements of nature. Everything is 5. Elements of nature is 5, and element of offering is 5. That is, you offer sugar, honey, ghee, milk and fruit. Same way, the 5 elements of nature, which is what is governing you at this moment when you are in the form of an individual energy. And the 5 elements, you know very well, are water, earth, fire, air and space. These are called the Panchabhutas. There is no way as an individual I can disconnect from these elements of nature, as my body originates from these elements. So they form an energy inside me. That's what I called body-mind energy. Then what is it, that spirit that I'm talking about? I can see my body. I can think, so I know I have the mind. But what is it that is making me feel that energy, knowing that energy is not enough? I have experiences. That's why the human beings have evolved into human beings, because they are expected to know that there is something beyond this bodily energy, the sense energy. And why do they know? How do they know that I have a spirit? You cannot see, you can only feel it, anubhava, experience it. The flower in the garden, how does it bloom? The previous day I saw it as a bud. How does it bloom now? How did it bloom today? We call it, oh, it's God's grace. We call it, oh, it's nature's law. We call it sometimes, oh, that's the way it is. And the poet looks at it and starts writing poetry on it. So there are different perceptions of it. But the real truth, the satyam, is that it is a product of nature. That means there is an universal energy that is operating on this earth.